Hi.
Stop. End of the line, please. Look, we at capacity.
You know what? You may have power now, but you're not God. You're a doorman, okay? You're a doorman. 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 Doorman.
Hey everyone, Thordan Smash here, and today we're going to be talking about the newest Apex Legends character, Catalyst, as her patch notes have officially coming out, and we have a first-hand look at how her gameplay is exactly going to play. We're also going to give out 45 bucks. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. But without further ado, let's talk about how she's going to change the meta. So we've got a lot to go over with Catalyst. I do want to cover a little bit of misinformation that was spread recently because people seem to think that the new map will include fall damage. That is not the case. In the trailer, Catalyst does jump off a very high point, and when she lands, it does seem that she did take fall damage, but what is happening is she's actually being hit by an enemy player to the right of her. You can actually see the shots land, and it takes down her shield, not her health, which is what usually is included in fall damage. I just wanted to cover this briefly before we talk about Catalyst and her new abilities, because the patch notes did leak yesterday from Inverse, and we're gonna go over each of them, including the gameplay of how they will work. The first thing is to know that her passive is called Barricade, which you will be able to reinforce doors on a building using her ferrofluid. Once they're reinforced, the doors are locked to enemy teams and take longer to break down. The unique function with this is it can also rebuild doors that have been destroyed. You can have 2 doors reinforced at any time, and the first barricaded door will revert to normal if you use the ability again. We see this in play right here, where in the trailer she covers the door. Now normally it takes 2 hits to knock down a door when you melee it. However, with her ability from the trailer, it shows that it needs 4. Very interesting function with this as well though is if you use Bangalore, you can actually use her smoke canisters to damage the door and reduce the amounts of hits that it requires to break it. Not that I think it'll increase Bangalore's pick rate, but it is important to know that there are some legends that will have a slight advantage compared to others when going against Catalyst. Now her tactical is piercing spikes, and they build up a patch of spiky terrain from ferrofluid. Any enemies that step into the spikes will take damage and move more slowly. To destroy piercing spikes, enemies will need to get close enough to expose a glowing core so it can't be removed from distance. Now we've seen the glowing core in the screenshot right here, and it's kind of in the middle of the ferrofluid, so if you want to get rid of this, you will have to destroy that. This works very similar to Ash's ability. As you can see, it is a projectile that shoots out and damages and stuns the enemy. That's basically Ash. There is one thing though that does make it better than Ash's, and that's the fact that someone who leaks pointed out that it actually has 2 shots in it. You'll be able to lay this down in multiple directions or right next to each other, making it basically a better version than Ash's. But her ultimate is where we are going to get really creative with this. It's called the Dark Veil, and it creates a massive ferrofluid wall to block enemy vision. Any enemies who pass the Dark Veil will be briefly slowed and partially blinded to the other side. It blocks scanning abilities used by other teams, but it is possible to go over the wall with some movement abilities. This is actually quite massive, as it now appears that we will be able to stop the scan wall hack meta. You can still get over this whether it looks like a Horizon ability or a Pathfinder ability or any legend that can really get above high ground. It does appear that from the trailers that you are able to shoot through it, and you will be able to walk through the wall as well, but it will slow and stun you. Very similar to a Watson fence in that regard. But like I said, the scanning block is huge. We saw this in the trailer with Seer, where he threw his ultimate and it just disappeared right away. Most people knew that this was going to happen right away. There were some people who were like, nah, they would never do that, and I can understand that because John Larson has gone on record saying that they don't want to add in a legend that will specifically remove the scan meta, or at least tie it to one specific legend. Well, whoops, there you go. We have one specific legend that will stop scanning abilities. I'm also interested to see if it's only for certain legends, because Crypto actually has something called an EMP as his ultimate, which is an electromagnetic pulse. And Catalyst using ferrofluid, well, that's actually a magnetic fluid, so it would make sense that Crypto could actually destroy this wall with his EMP. I don't know if the developers have thought into the science enough of it, and I'm actually not sure 100% if the science is there, but it would be a good way to increase Crypto's pick rate, as he is a scanning legend who can get around the wall and destroy it like other legends' ultimate abilities, which would allow him to pull closer to Bloodhound and Seer. Let me know down below, how do you feel about Catalyst coming into the Apex Legends games? Do you think she'll be a major deterrent with her anti-scan abilities against Seer? And do you think she looks pretty cool? And until next time, Legends, keep slaying in the Outlands, and I'll see you out there.